I was digging on a very old farm property that was turned into a neighborhood, and there was a spring house that was untouched but collapsed, so I decided to go check it out. I ended up finding some really interesting and possibly valuable items that I'm going to show you and talk about. All of these items were buried in the dirt, but eventually the spring from the spring house uncovered them again. The first item here looked to me like an old Heinz ketchup bottle. On the bottom it said Heinz, but then I was looking a little bit deeper and found out a little bit more about this particular bottle. This particular one was an older style, which actually made it more valuable. It goes on eBay for about $13. Here's what everyone loved, the little, what we think is a perfume bottle. So I'm gonna put a dab of soap in there. I'm trying not to burn myself like I did last time. Oh my gosh, it's so tiny in there. Ow. Okay, I'm burning myself. But, lots of yuck in there. Even though it looked like a perfume bottle, I was completely wrong. It was actually a top to a vintage liquor decanter. It actually measured the amount of alcohol by turning it upside down. The alcohol went inside, and then you turn it back over, and you get your alcohol from the small bottle. Here's the one that people mentioned. It almost looks like a top to a lamp, but in this case, I thought it was some kind of perfume or incense container. Well, it wasn't for perfumes or incense. It was actually a sugar bowl, a crystal sugar bowl that actually once had a silver lid. This particular one was made in England in about 1902, and researching it a little bit more, it values at 1,000 Croatian kunas, which comes out to be about $150 US. This one I'm not too interested in. It looks like just a typical jelly or olive jar. But this one, I'm sure is some kind of liquor bottle. But it does have a 26N on the bottom. So I just wanted to clean this up a little bit, see if it shows anything else. But one thing I do want to note, oh gosh, as I knock down, I want to note about this one is it has a very, very tiny screw top. There's the start right there, comes around, and it only goes around once, where now a lot of our stuff goes around several times. Even this Heinz bottle only has one. So I thought that was interesting. Here's another one I'm going to wash as well. It just has this shield on it. And I don't know my liquor well enough to know what that shield is. Every one of these bottles has been really, really difficult to clean. The mud caked inside is extremely hard to get out. But that didn't stop me. I was still very determined to find out what these bottles were. Oh goodness, that was gross. Well, there's a lot of dirt in that one. After a little research, I found that this was a vintage amber brown beer bottle, and it still had its coat of arms, and it values about $6. I got a chance to look at this one a little bit closer, and it still had its cap on it, and if you can read it, it says Bayer. So I'm assuming this was a Bayer aspirin, but they don't make these aluminum caps anymore, or tin caps. But I want to clean it up because this one's actually pretty cool. Bayer was a company that was founded in Germany, and they're known for their patent for Bayer aspirin. That was established in 1899. But what's interesting about their medicine is it actually came from the bark of a willow tree. So this makes me wonder, can nature heal us? I couldn't find any bottles with my cap. And the closest I found were these, and it's valued at about $9.50, but I think mine's a lot older, so I think it's a lot more valuable. This is the one that I thought it was an old Fanta bottle, or some kind of soda bottle, has these dapples right here and then a clear, smooth part right here. But I filled it up with water, and of course it's gross. After I cleaned it off a little, I was able to read it a little better. I'm going to see if I can angle it. So it says bottled under LIC right there, and then of Los Angeles, green spot. Pretty sure it says green, GREEN spot. And then I'm still trying to give you a good angle so you can read it. And then it has some kind of little symbol in the middle. So this one I had to look up and research a little. It turns out that Green Spot was based in California as a non-carbonated and a non-caffeinated orange and other fruit soft drinks. It was established in 1934 in the United States, but then moved over in 1954 to Thailand, where it focused on its soft drinks. But it still remains in the US, but it focuses on soft syrups for ice creams and other drinks. I also found its original logo of real fruit, and the bottle itself is worth about $10. It does have the Green Spot logo on it and all the dappling that I showed you earlier. This one had a lot more detail in the front, so let me clear it off really quick. After clearing it off a little bit more, I was able to read Brewing Company right here. Try and focus. So Brewing Company, you can see the brewing part. And then at the bottom it says Reading, Pennsylvania, but I could not figure out what this said right here. And I kept looking, and then I think I finally read, it actually says Reading too. So Reading and Reading, unless I'm misreading that part right there, but Reading Brewing Company, Pennsylvania, in Reading, Pennsylvania, established there it is, right there, 1886. If I can let you see that good. Nope, that doesn't help anymore, but 1886, there we go. With a little bit of research, I found out that my bottle was extremely worn. That's why I wasn't able to read anything. The picture actually shows a mussel holding what is barley or wheat, but now I can see why I was struggling so much versus this clear picture on the right. Their original name was Old Reading Brewing Company, and they were founded in 1886. They were known for making a Dutch Pennsylvania beer, and they would produce about 1,200 barrels a year starting in 1886. But in the 70s, they ended up closing their doors due to competition. Looking at my bottle, it's probably only worth maybe $5. Actually, in the condition where it's all rubbed away, probably even less. Here's that old spoon I showed you. I don't know if this is rusting or if it's copper or what that is, but let's see. I'm going to take some soap to it. I'm not going to use hot water, I'll burn myself. See if we can clean this off really quick. But everything is so worn away and aged, it's hard to judge. Yeah, this was not cleaning up nicely. So it looks maybe steel or, being that it's very rusted, I'm going to guess that. Or iron. This one is interesting because at the top it says not to be refilled. Not to be refilled. So, but at the bottom I can't read it yet, so I'm going to clear that up. Okay, so it got a little better. It says right here, no deposit, no refund. I'm not sure what kind of bottles do that. Maybe this is from California. But if you look at this part, it says 101 here. Then it says at the bottom, KPP. Pretty sure that's a K. And then the number 69 on that side. So, not exactly sure what this was used for. Would like to know. Turns out KPP was a bottle supplier for Budweiser. This little bottle, I noticed right away, does not have a screw top, and it almost has like a pop top, or if you had a rubber top on it. And then a big giant W, I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure it's not an M. So W, not sure what this is for, but let's clean it up. After cleaning it up, and it still was very dirty inside, I could not clean it up all the way. It just had the W. Had to look into that. I found this as well. It's an old sink faucet, and I just love it. I want to turn it into something else. Set it, into a handle, into some kind of... I don't think I could turn it into a faucet again. But maybe somehow I can restore it, because it does not turn. But would definitely like to turn it into something else. Any ideas? Turns out these go for a lot of money, and mine in particular is on more of the valuable end. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for the other one or a matching pair, and I just figured out these would make great hooks. I think that's what I want to turn this into. This is the end result of all the bottles that I cleaned up, and a faucet. Now it's trying to figure out what they are. What's funny is I had them stored in this old cigar box. How about a cigar for 10 cents? It says 1975 on the box. Oops. Oh my goodness. Can anyone remember having cigars at that time? There was also the Yale Lock, and it's actually on the inside. It says Made in USA. You can see that part. That's my wood floors squeaking. Don't judge me. I'm guessing when they broke in, when, the spring house was originally broken into, it was probably protected with this lock. And, then the spring house was abandoned, and that's where I found these in the mud and dirt because they just were swept away by the spring. I can't remember if I talked about the Heinz bottle, but it says J. Heinz Company. And at the bottom it says the 25 and then patent. I'm not sure if that was a certain time period, if they all say that. I appreciate everyone for watching. I've had this stuff in a box for a long time, and I never got a way to express my excitement for vintage and antiques until I started my YouTube, Green Bay Explorer, and this really gave me the opportunity to talk about it. I appreciate everyone hopping on. Please subscribe because I love to show you more, and this would all happen because of a collaboration of Show Off Your Clear Glass that I was able to bring this out again. So thank you again for having that collaboration. It really helped.